I made a lot of people race on this super chain. Craze, back outside and it's right here. It's that super bass. I just woke up and I'm like, what I'm finna do today? Measurements, major flips, makes sense. Okay, let's go. Going up, I'm going long. I told the squad, meet at the base. Punt the bags, I punt the stock. It must be hard to keep the pace. 7 figures out the songs, that was the outcome of my pain. We're bringing $1 billion on chain.
Some people gon' leave whenever there's tough times, but shout out to the real ones that stuck by. Dark days make you appreciate when there's sunshine. Reason I trust mine. Look, I got some moves to make. I gotta get it right now, I refuse to wait. Really don't do the fakes. I gotta keep my grass low just to view the snakes. If only you knew the stakes. Taking these risks to pursue was great. I got some moving bass. Now I'm on chain and I'm using bass. Using bass. Now I'm on chain and I'm using bass. I've been outside, I'ma choose my faith. Cooking the shit of a food on plates. And then when Rio be standing on business, there ain't no way we can lose this race. I had to manage the damage inflicted. Put on the grass, we don't use the brakes. Nah. So many chains I've been able to mint. So many ways now I'm taking my pick. Bullet the best while I'm still in the market. Wallets on wallets, I'm staking a bit. Face like I'm Little B. Say what I say, now she feel to me. Make what I make, now they shielding me.
Big dog, big drums, big bass. When she look around, she see bass. Try to play keep up, but it's way too late.
Onchain is the next online.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jesse Pollack, the creator of Base and your host of Onchain Summer Stories. Super excited to be here on this beautiful Monday in California and to be joined by Tyler, the leader of Atari X, and Graham, the co-founder and CEO of Stack. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us. Absolutely.
Super excited you're here. I wanted to just start by hearing a little bit of the Atari story. Obviously, Atari has been a leader in gaming from the beginning of video games and computer games. Tell us, how did you guys end up doing things on chain? I know you were part of Onchain Summer last year. Give us a little bit more of the history.
Yep, absolutely. So, you were correct saying Atari's been here since the beginning of gaming. Nolan Bushnell, 51 years ago. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary last year. And the whole premise of Nolan and Atari in the early days in California were there's new technology, computers were just starting, and he wanted to create entertainment with it. There was no gaming industry, anything else like it. It was a new technology that could be used, and people were figuring out how it could be used, right? They didn't really know. And so as I came on board in Atari and Wade, our CEO, and Ethan, our president, we really wanted to bring Atari back to where it was, at least from an innovation standpoint. Small steps, obviously. We're not a AAA gaming company, but really go back to the core of what Atari stood for back then. And Web3 on-chain is one of those avenues of innovation and where tech is going, and has a lot of benefits. So we're taking that core, really, what Atari was founded on, and introducing it to this technology. And then it's an added benefit that we have all this really cool IP, starting with Pong, Asteroids, Missile Command, Breakout, Centipede. That's arcade games, easy to play, hard to master, fun. So it's a really good middle point to onboard to a lot of this technology. So we think we can do a lot of cool things, and even help those who we think are doing really cool things, like both of you guys here, and hopefully make it a little easier to understand and a little more fun. So, yeah, absolutely.
I love it. And I love that Atari was kind of there at the beginning of computers and computer games and video games, and now y'all are here at the beginning of on-chain games. And I want to get into kind of what you guys are launching today with Arcade. But before we do that, Graham, can you just introduce yourself, tell us what Stack is, and how did you end up here on this call?
Sure, sounds good. My name's Graham and founder of Stack, and we specialize in on-chain point systems. So that's everything from loyalty and reputation systems to gaming points, and we just bring them on chain. And there's a lot that you can do once they're on chain. I was really excited to hear about the Atari project, and we jumped in and helped product manage and build out the game itself. So yeah, we put that together the last 2 weeks or so, pushed it on chain, and all the points are on chain, and we can build things around that. They can integrate it. They can do rewards permissionlessly on top of the point system. So
pretty epic. And we've been talking a little bit about, but Tyler, can you just give us an overview of kind of what are you guys launching today, and where is it going?
Yeah, absolutely. So core to, like I was saying, core to Atari is arcade games, is that leaderboard, that competition. The first, I won't even call it esports because it wasn't esports. So competition of video games was people playing Asteroids and Missile Command and going for the high score, and then getting onto your local arcades high score. So we will always, that's core to us, and it makes so much sense for on-chain as well, especially from a scorekeeping aspect. That's it at its base root, no pun intended, really. Where we wanted a fun game. Asteroids is such a staple. We wanted access in order to get to play the game. You need to own the NFT, and then all scores are logged on chain, and then from there it gets a little fun. So there's weekly leaderboards. We have an overall leaderboard with some pretty big prizes, and then once you participate, it can evolve and change. The level of prizes, or just what games come next, ownership, who owns that high score cartridge, and what do you do with it on chain. So there's a lot to do, and this is just the starting point of a lot more to come.
I love it, and I want to talk about the on-chain points mechanics. But before we do that, I actually want to play the game. And so I thought we'd maybe try and do a live demo here. Live demos are always a little scary, but let me see. I'm going to put my screen up. Can folks see my screen? There we go.
This is the Atari version of Hot Ones. Instead of eating some wings,
we're going to play a game.
You're only for one life, though. That's how it works.
Only talk for one life. And folks can't see the URL bar, but I'm at Atari at arcade.fun. So if you're watching along, you can go to arcade.fun on your mobile phone or on your desktop browser, and you can get playing. And you'll see, there's obviously a leaderboard here. We're seeing that some folks are starting to rise up in the leaderboard. And then we have some games. The first game that Atari's launched is Asteroids. And obviously a classic Atari, but now the leaderboard's on chain. And so I'm just going to mint to play. It's about $5. You can't see my screen now, but I'm doing the mint confirmation. Let me just get that done. Boom, it's signing. So there, it's now minted. So I've minted Asteroids. Let me crush some high scores.
I was gonna say play that free, because that video, that little GIF video, is awesome.
Well, next time. And now here we have a fully on-chain version of Asteroids. Okay, I got my little guy. Wow, that was really humiliating, honestly. This is clearly showing that Jesse hasn't played enough Asteroids. Let's see. I was bragging that I actually did pretty well earlier.
There you go.
Woo! Now I got DJ mode. This is hilarious. Whoever did that, thank you.
Double points.
Double points. Let's go. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm done. But now, so here I am on the leaderboard. So that's my address. That's connected with my Coinbase smart wallet. That's my address. You obviously can't see it. I just clicked share leaderboard. So actually, let me just jump back here. Here's my leaderboard. This is like a global arcade leaderboard. And it's all attested, fully verifiably on-chain. So anyone can go and see. There's obviously a lot of people who are playing right now, so we won't be able to see everyone. But anyone can go and see who's played the game on this global computer, just like you could see who's played the game and who scored on the leaderboard at your local arcade. And then anyone can participate in these contests. So weekly prizes, you got merch, You got more codes for games on Steam. We got gift cards for Atari.com. And then there's going to be even more games coming soon. So, I mean, I was kind of just blown away at obviously it's such a good IP. This is like classic Asteroids. I played it growing up. But then B, how powerful it is to see all of the on-chain pieces coming together and making this experience so seamless, so easy, so fun, and also I think so easy for other people to build on top of. And I think, Graham, this is obviously something that you spent a lot of time thinking about. Like, before the leaderboard was just locked in one arcade game in a single bar or a single restaurant. Now it's a global leaderboard that's totally verifiable, that anyone can start adding additional things on, like airdrops or gift cards. Like, how do you think about this new form of leaderboard and points that's starting to take the world by storm?
Yeah, there's so many factors there. So one thing that's super cool is if you look at that leaderboard, you can see like their profile photos, their names there. So you might wonder like where does that information come from, because you didn't enter it in. It actually comes from like the Farcaster ecosystem and like Lens profiles and ENS. So there's all these other primitives that are existing in the Web3 space, and they're tied to the user's address. And so as you use something like Coinbase Wallet and you have this on-chain wallet, that accrues reputation from all these other like components that are already a part of the ecosystem. And so it makes building things like identity and like reputation systems like that much more powerful, because now you make a game and the user already has a history and context and profile photos, and they have friends. And so it would be very easy for us, for example, to do a chat with all the people who you're following on Farcaster, and you could like see who else of your friends are playing at the same time, and so you can high five them on chain and stuff. So there are like,
actually, I just want to quickly like voice over that. And can we put my screen back on if Drew is listening? Okay, so you were saying this leaderboard. There's people here. Obviously, they have their kind of like Ethereum addresses, but then they also have usernames.
Yeah.
And they have profile pictures.
Yeah,
what you're saying is that those usernames and profile pictures, you didn't need to create an account on arcade.fun. They're actually just brought in from the existing on-chain identities. Is that right?
Right, that's true. And so you might think that for an app like this, like you'd want a logging experience and add their email and like username and stuff. And we could add those, and it would maybe be additive to the ecosystem. But we already have a lot of this identity information from ENS and from Farcaster. We can pull those in. We can pull in your whole social graph. We can suggest other games to you based on things that your friends are playing. We can give notifications if your friends are playing at the same time. And we don't have to go and build that social network aspect of it ourselves, because that's already like part and parcel of the Web3 ecosystem tied to your Web3 address, your Ethereum address.
Pretty incredible. It's really incredible. Okay, so I interrupted you. What else are you seeing happen with these kind of on-chain points and on-chain leaderboards?
Yeah, so I think a really big part of it is like the rewards aspect of it. So if you have these things, like maybe some brand wants to go and target you, and they say, completely separate of Atari, maybe you have like a footwear brand or something comes in and says like, we want to actually like give cool offers to people who do well on the leaderboard. And now it's like a co-branded effort. And that co-branding can happen just on chain, and can happen permissionlessly, and doesn't have to be this formal legal contract that just takes months to kind of get by. Like anybody can come and find these people and see who they are, understand what the community looks like, so demographically or from like an identity like perspective, and then see who the top players are, who really cares about this game, who's invested in the Atari ecosystem. And that's something that Atari can also like eventually just use over time. Every time they do a new launch, they have this audience that they have on chain, and they like know exactly like how people have interacted with their projects in the product.
I love it.
And
sorry, go for it, Tyler.
Yeah, and just on that the stuff that happens behind the scenes, kind of what Graham was alluding to there, especially our core business for arguably the past 20 years was licensing. We have hundreds of IPs and legacy, and we go around and especially now we have 15 games in production. We have a couple dev studios, everything else. So we're kind of getting away from the licensing a little bit, but it's still very core to our overall business. And licensing within gaming is a challenge. You have developers, you have publishers, you have the IP holders or rights holders. You have a million different stakeholders in that. and it gets a little convoluted and crazy. Obviously, this is at a very simple standpoint and a very Web3 centric one, but it helps solve a larger problem down the road. So that's what I'm very excited about. Where, you know, if an IP holder gets, you know, 10%, 20%, it's so much easier to understand from an accounting standpoint or just even a management standpoint. And then it's easier to get new IPs or have people do more with those IPs. So if you have a whole creator network and everything else, it's easier to break it out, and there's less of that, you know, bureaucratic or corporate legal to go through. So it makes everything smoother and easier, including this process. And this was an example as far as
Totally.
legal and getting through, as easy as it gets. So
Yeah.
it makes it so much
I love
easier.
it. It's such a good example of how this new technology, the on-chain platform, is making it easier to just build.
Yeah.
Whether it's by making it so you don't have to have your own profiles because you can bring in the existing on-chain profile, or you don't have to build your own social graph because you can bring in the existing on-chain social graph, or making it so that you can actually do 10x more partnerships and collaborations because all the data is open and composable and like visible and usable by other people. The key thing that it enables us to build faster, to build better, and to build better together, where we're actually able to collaborate more easily. And every single thing that each of us builds contributes to this world computer that in many ways is like getting more and more valuable every single day because all of us are building on it. So that, I mean, it gets me so fired up, and it's so, I think, inspiring to see that coming through in such classic content like Asteroids and like Atari. Maybe just one last question to wrap us up. Tyler, like, where do you see all this going in the next few years? What are you excited about with Atari on-chain in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really enjoy the community aspect. Obviously, the collaboration and community is by far our two drivers and what we focus most of our time on. All this, other than the gameplay and the IP, we've built Atari Club out, and that's kind of taking everything we've learned in Web3 over the last few years, whether it be loyalty and everything else. And it's that one touch point for Atari, whether if you want to interact with it, if you do anything and touch Atari anywhere, whether it's Web2 or Web3, you'll be able to be rewarded within the Atari Club at any point. And then we also have that one focal point to drive people to other things. So like right now we have Atari Summer Camp for the next 7 weeks, and it launched like a week and a half ago. And it's more of just a digital interactive experience that reminds you of 1983 Summer Camp, which we had at 1983 computer camps, Atari computer camps, which were very big. And it's just a cool vibey thing. And then we're able to do different touch points, different activations, and just reward anyone who touched the Atari name, or just bring Atari to anyone where it makes it the technology or makes it easier to understand. But just an example, anyone who has these NFTs, these are exclusive, actually this colorway for summer camp. So anyone who has Asteroids will be able to get one of these guys. So
Sick.
Just all of Atari.com is hooked up. You can connect your wallet and get one of these guys. So pretty cool.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. If you're watching this, go play Asteroids at arcade.fun. Stay tuned for more Atari games. Join the leaderboard powered by Stack. Earn cool prizes. Get access to exclusive merch. Have fun this summer on chain. That is what it's all about. And if you're not having fun just doing cool things on chain, we hope you're having fun building things on chain. Thanks all for joining Onchain Summer Stories. See you next week.
That's good.